Okay, let's dive into psychological levels and how professional traders use these levels to sometimes find their entries off of. And there also can be, I mean, in general, they can be used as good entry points and just to know where you're at on the charts. And also, price likes to react off these levels. So it can be an added influence to your trade. If you didn't watch part two of this free Forex course, I went more into depth of the psychological levels that we're about to go over, which is whole numbers, half numbers, quarter points. Go watch part two if you have not seen the background of psychological levels when I gave some examples in text form, but this is more on chart form. But part two will give you more of that background knowledge. Okay, let's dive into it. So we know that whole numbers can be anything like 127, 128, and 129, and half numbers can be anything like 127.5, 128.5, 129.5. And then we have quarter points that are in between there, like 127.250, 127.750, 128.250, and 128.750. All of these points, these whole numbers, half numbers, and quarter points, you can find your entries and know price is going to react to those certain levels. But I'm about to show you on the graph. So right here, we're on USD CAD, and let's just mark up all the whole numbers that are in this vicinity. So I know we got 134 is a whole number. So 134.00 is a whole number. And then what's our next whole number? Starting from 134, and then 135 is a whole number. 1, 2, 3. And the only thing that I want you to remember is that price is not always going to be perfect. You can't think it's just going to get to this level and then hold there. It might go a little bit past it, or sometimes it might hold. As you kind of see as I'm marking it up, this 134 level held, and then which this now just became a demand zone. You mark your demand up. Yeah, you can see those working off the levels. That's why psychological levels are important to know, and they can really help you. And then we have the 138 level right there. Not to write these in text, but these are our whole numbers. So now that I marked up all my whole numbers, I got 134, 135, 136, 137, and 138. You can just see how price reacts off of these levels. You can see it visually. You can see that price got to 137, kind of hesitated before trying to go back up to 138. And then it came back down, broke below 137, 1.37, and went all the way to 136, where it reversed off of. And off of these whole numbers, just know that you can sometimes find your continuations or your reversals. So sometimes, like it got to 134, went up, and then went to 135, try to come back down, but it hit the 134.5 level, which is another key level area. But those are the whole numbers. You can just automatically see how you can use these levels to find entry points or plays that price is going to react off of. Let's move on to half points. We have 134.500, and I'm going to do it a different color. Okay, 134, then we got 135 level, 135. There's another whole point, 500, got 1.36, 500, and then got 1.37, 500. This is how you mark up your whole numbers and half numbers. The next one would be if you want to mark up the 250s and the 750 areas in between these points, you can. And I'll just do it for the first part so that you guys can see an example. So from 1.34500, we have, I'll do it in a different color, 250, 250, and then 134, 250, and then you have 134, 750, 750. Okay. Fuse, you make that one black again. Text. Okay. Okay. So now you have your so now you have your whole numbers and your quarter points and your half points, and then it goes back to another quarter point, and then a whole number, and then so forth. For me, again, the only thing that I use is the whole numbers and the half points because they have the best reactions, and I feel like playing in between with the 250s and 750 areas, it's not really worth it for me. So for you, my suggestion would be just focus on whole numbers and the half points. which would be like your 134 and then your 134 500, whatever chart that you're trading, just focus on the half points and whole numbers. And for half points, you can find hesitation areas as well. So when it was at a half point right here, 134 or 135 500, that's a hesitation area. So when price first got to this area, you could expect that, okay, it might be some kind of pullback on it or something, because it's a hesitation area. That's why this was hesitating to even, go past the half point. It took a while for it to even close above. This is a hesitation area, and whole numbers you can expect, or you can try to expect reversals off of or continuations off of. But that's what whole numbers and half points are. But that is how you find your psychological levels.